Hi, welcome to this presentation on AP Classroom Resources, and most specifically, topic questions. My name is Claire Lorenz, and I work on the AP Instruction team at the College Board. We really appreciate you joining us today. So this is one of several presentations on AP Classroom Resources in which we'll do a deep dive into the instructional tools that the AP program is designed to support AP teachers of our math and computer science courses. These resources can help you provide the practice and support your students need, regardless of where you are in the school year and how instruction is being delivered. So without further ado, let's get started with this presentation on topic questions. So if you have joined us for one of our other videos, you know that we talk about our AP resources and how they support teaching and learning throughout the entirety of the instructional cycle. So whether you are planning or teaching your course, having students practice what they've learned, assessing what they have mastered in terms of course content and skills, getting feedback on your students' performance, or having students see their own feedback on their performance, we have an instructional resource aligned to each one of these stages in the teaching and learning cycle. For the purpose of this video, we'll be talking about the topic questions and how the topic questions can be used to help students practice what they've learned in each individual topic in each unit of the course. So first, topic questions. What are they? So topic questions are formative in nature, which means that they meet students where they are at that point in the school year, and they provide students with practice applying the topic content and skills. And this is the case for every topic within each unit of the course. The topic questions enable you as the teacher to check for understanding early and often to inform the individual and class level supports you may need to provide. So in other words, topic questions are meant to be used as you teach each individual topic of the course so that you don't have to wait until quiz day on Friday or the unit test to determine that students have a particular misunderstanding about about a topic's content or skill. You can use the topic questions as you teach each individual topic and skill to determine where students may need additional help and support. So these topic questions, once they've been given to students, will help you as the teacher identify common student misunderstandings so that you're able to kind of remediate that misunderstanding before moving forward, and provides similar feedback to the student themselves so that they can understand why a correct answer is correct and why an incorrect answer is incorrect through the rationales that are accompany each topic question. And we'll look at all of those in the live demo portion of this presentation. So when should you use topic questions? Well, the great thing about them is that they're very flexible and that they can be used before, during, or after instruction. We've heard from a lot of teachers that they use topic questions in a variety of different ways. Here are just a few of the ways that AP teachers tell us that they're using topic questions. They may use them as warm-up questions before a class starts to get a sense of whether students did a reading the night before or what they might have learned from that reading. Some teachers use them as homework exercises, either the night before as students are reading something or the night after to ensure that students gleaned what they needed to from that day's direct instruction. They may be used as exit ticket questions. So you've taught a lesson or you've had students watch a video. The topic questions can help you determine at the very end of a lesson what students took away from that lesson. They can be used in conjunction with the AP Daily videos. So just like topic questions, AP Daily videos are aligned to topic skill pairings in the AP course and exam description. And if you are having students watch AP Daily videos, you can use the topic questions to, again, determine what students understood from what was presented during those videos. And of course, you can also use the topic questions to check for understanding after your own direct instruction. And that, again, can be at the start of the class, at the end of the class, or maybe halfway through the class to check for understanding on what you just did. You can part and parcel these topic questions however you'd like. You can assign one at a time, you can assign three at a time. You technically could combine them from multiple topics at once if you wanted to. But again, topic questions are meant to be used as you progress from topic to topic so that you get immediate, just in time feedback about how students are understanding the content and skills that were presented in that particular topic. So the best part of these presentations is usually when we go live into AP Classroom. So if you will bear with me a second, what we'll do here is I'm going to bring up our login page for AP Classroom. So I'm at myap.collegeboard.org. That's myap.collegeboard.org. And I am going to log in here with my College Board username and password. If you'd like to follow along, please use your College Board username and password and click submit. What is going to happen is this is going to take us to a personalized homepage of AP Central. We won't be in AP Classroom just yet, but this login will actually help us curate an AP Central page to you specifically as a teacher. So it will give you the information that is relative to AP teachers in general, and then also to you and the courses that you teach. So if you teach AP Statistics and AP Calculus, you're going to see both of those here. If you teach just computer science principles, you will see that here. If you teach several AP courses, you will see all of those icons here. I think for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to use AP Computer Science A. And I'm going to click here, go to AP Classroom, and that is going to take us to AP Classroom proper and the home page of AP Classroom. Okay, the previous page is technically a personalized homepage of AP Central. This is what is now going to put us into AP Classroom. And while we're waiting for this to load, I will again make a quick plug for our help menu and the really great video tutorials and annotated screenshots that can be found in the help menu. The help menu here will allow us to either look at the teacher guide to AP Classroom or the student guide to AP Classroom. So if you want to see what students see, there's some great screenshots from the student perspective here that can be helpful to teachers and students alike. But if I click on this AP teacher guide to AP Classroom, it is going to bring up this page. And the really great part is that we've told you the most recent improvements or additions to AP Classroom at the very top. And then there is a series of quick start videos. So if you need a different perspective about what's being presented today, there is a very short video under 2 minutes on assigning topic questions, as well as a variety of videos on other topics as well. If you prefer to read and see screenshots, you can actually use the sidebar menu here. Go down to using topic questions. We can click there and we can see more annotated screenshots and what happens once you actually click on a topic questions link, and then how to navigate creating a quiz or an assignment out of topic questions, including how to see the rationales for students and some information about the free response questions as well. So a quick plug for our help menu. Depending on when you last logged into your course, you may get some notifications about the availability of AP Daily videos. We'd encourage you to watch our presentation on AP Daily videos if you want to know more about using them specifically. Okay, so what now is I am on the home page for Computer Science A and AP Classroom. I can go down here and I can see all of my individual topics for Unit 1. And what I can see here is if I'm talking about, let's say I've just taught topic 1.4, I see my series of AP Daily videos here on the side. I see the topic name itself and the two skills that are aligned to it. Some courses have two skills aligned to them or maybe more. A majority of courses may only have one skill aligned per topic. What I can do here is I can actually click on this link and it will bring up the page for that topic in the course and exam description so I can get a better sense of the learning objectives and essential knowledge statements that students need to know. So this is the required content I must teach, as well as what the two skills are here. Usually for Computer Science A, it's one that is uh, kind of relevant to all parts of the exam, and then there's usually one that might be relevant to mostly the free response portion of the exam. Uh, let's see, if I go back here, I can also click on one of our skills and actually get the full description of the skill here, the same way I could get it from the topic page itself. And you're going to see off to the side here a link for topic questions. So I want you to remember that this was topic 1.4 and skill 2B and 5A. So topic 1.4, skill 2B and 5A. Because the beauty about clicking on this topic questions link is that this is about secure questions. We'll talk about this pop-up in our discussion on the question bank. For now, I'm going to just click I agree. But it was 1.4 and then skill 2B and 5A. If I take a quick look at this, I will see that the filter here actually says 1.4. So the filter has been pre-engaged for me. If I actually click on this here, I can see it is 2B that has been checked and also 5A. I also knew that that was the case by looking at the list of questions here. And seeing the skills that they're aligned to. And I know that these are AP topic questions. You can see that the light bulb here also delineates that this is a topic question, which means, again, it's formative in nature. It's meant to meet students where they are at this point during the school year. It's very explicitly going to assess the content from 1.4 and the skill to which it is aligned. Some teachers have told us that sometimes these questions feel a little bit more emerging or more on the basic level of the course. And I would not be surprised if that were the case because we are in Unit 1 of our AP course. These questions will get increasingly more difficult as we progress through the course and students have more knowledge and more skill under their belt. If I had actually disengaged this filter right here, the number of questions actually increased by one. And you can see right here that there is no light bulb question or a light bulb icon, which means that this question probably came from either an older practice exam or a released exam. But I want to be careful before I assign this to my students because I can see that there might be an element of a different topic that is applicable here. So even though it's aligned to a skill that was part of this topic instruction, there's an element of a different topic here in a later unit that students may not be ready for. So I can choose to preview this question ahead of time to decide whether or not it's applicable for my students. And already we can see how it's probably at a little bit higher of a difficulty level because of that inclusion of later content. Um, I can then go back here and I can say, I do want my topic questions just totally. And that's going to give me 6 questions here. Now, let's say I want to build an assessment from these topic questions. I can add all 6 of these questions to a quiz. Um, I could only decide that, let's say I'm concentrating, maybe I'm spending 2 days on this lesson for whatever reason, and I decide I don't want to add all of them. I only want to focus on the ones that are related to skill 2B. I can add those questions individually. So you can either add all the questions to the quiz and then delete the ones that you want, or you can actually go and add these questions individually. So let's say I'm going to add the questions for 2B. I'm deciding I'm going to add this question. I need to name this. So I'm going to say this is topic 1.4, skill 2B. Maybe it's a homework assignment, and I'm going to name it that. And I'm going to click create quiz. You can see right now it only has this one question that I've added. Maybe I want to go back and I want to add other questions. I want to add this question, and I want to add this question. Oops, nope, not that one. I wanted to add this one. So let's see what happens now. I have 4 questions. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 questions that have been added to my assignment. I can actually go back here. I can find that one that's aligned to 5A and say, you know what, I didn't want this one after all, and I can delete it. And yes, I want to remove that question. So now I have 3 questions. I can reorder these by moving them up and down. But I can see very quickly these are all topic questions from the light bulb. They're all related to topic 1.4. They're all related to skill 2B. And then if I click save my quiz, even if I go back to the browse questions, what you'll see now is that these questions I've already used have this orange bar next to it. And if I click on that orange bar, it will tell me what assignment I've actually used it on. Not surprised to see that the assignment that's already there. If I actually have this question on more than one assignment, it will list more than one assignment there, and it will tell me whether or not I've assigned it to any of my course sections. So right now it's not been assigned, not surprisingly, because I just made it. But as I assign it, then it will tell me which sections of I've assigned these questions to. So I'm going to go back to my actual tab here with the question. And let's say I want to preview this first. I could have previewed each question individually, so that's still an option. But I can also preview all of these at once if I want. And so I can go to preview. And what I want to do is I want to actually look at some of the icons up here in the corner. So I can edit the quiz from here if I'd like to. This is an edit icon. You can see that as I hover over it, it says edit quiz. This one will say duplicate quiz. So if I have more than one section and I kind of want to change things up, I want to make a version 1 and a version 2, or a version A and a version B, and one has, questions in a different order, or one has slightly different questions than the other. I can actually duplicate this quiz, make it the basis for the version B, and then make changes to that version B, but not have to worry about re-adding all of the questions I already added. So there's this new feature that allows us to duplicate this and use it as a basis for a slightly revised version that I may want to assign a different course section. I can remove this question. I can preview a print version if I wanted to see what students would see if I were to print this out for them. So you'll see right here, it will generate a PDF, and I can click on that PDF and it will give us a version of this that students would see if you were to print it out for them. Here you go. And this is what it would look like. You can scroll through And you can also see a scoring guide version. So if I print this, it's going to look very similar to the print version, but it will also have the answer highlighted. So if I needed to make an answer key for quick reference, especially for me, then I can have that version as well. And so that's here. A couple of other things to note for you as the teacher. Um, if I expand the question scoring and details here on the side, you will see that this question has particular elements in terms of tags. So this is like, how we've categorized this question. We can see it's a topic question, what unit it comes from, um, what skill it comes from, what big idea and learning objective it is aligned to. We can see that is partially aligned to the AP exam, which means again it may be a slightly different, it may be a slightly easier or more emerging difficulty level. Remember, it is practicing something very, very specific that is honed in on that topic and skill, right? So you can see here what the correct answer is. You can see the rationale for the correct answer. This would be the same rationale that a student would see for the correct answer, but I can also kind of jump around and see what the rationales are um, for the incorrect answers. And one of the really nice things is that the rationale it just doesn't say this is incorrect because it's not the right answer. It actually said like this would be the result if I had this particular misunderstanding, or I made this particular error in a computation, or in this case, the follow through of the code. So I want to kind of point out here that's like that there's some instructional value in reading with some of these particular rationales say, so that you can help students avoid these mistakes and these misunderstandings ahead of time, or you can remediate afterwards. Okay. So I can assign this assignment from here, or I can actually X out and I can assign from here. If I click assign, I'm going to be given a whole bunch of options here. I do want to kind of point out that every time there's one of these little info icons, these info icons will give you information about what the options here actually mean. So please feel free to click on that. We won't go through every single thing here. Obviously, if I had more than one section, I can assign to one or more or all. I can, in this particular case, assign online or in print. Whether or not students see the results. If I want to, if since these are all multiple choice, if I want students to get their results right away as soon as they hit submit, I want to set this to after scoring. If I want to wait until all the students are finished, or until I decide that they can see the answers, I'm going to want to change this to no. And again, that info icon will give you more information about what those options mean. There's start date, due date. I like to leave these blank so that students can, I don't have to reopen it for students who may be a little delayed, but that really is depending on whether or not you want to lock this for when a particular time is up. I do want to point out that the timer is for instructional use only, and that students will see a timer if you put a time limit on this, but they will not be kicked out or locked out of the assessment when the time expires. They will be notified that the time has expired, but they will be allowed to keep working, especially in the case where we have students with accommodations, so that they do have that extra time. If you really want to lock the quiz when a certain amount of time is up, then you will have to set the due date for that particular date and time, and then students will be completely locked out. They will not be allowed to submit any further. There are some advanced settings, including scrambling questions from one section to another. And you are able to enable the lockdown browser for teachers who may want to do that. It is not mandatory for this type of question. It is only mandatory for the secure practice exam items, which we will talk about in the question bank version of these presentations. But if you do want to enable it, you can enable it here. That's why it's under advanced settings. I'm going to click assign and it's going to go to my period one class, and my period one class now is here. I have 15 students. I can say I've just assigned it, so none of them have started this yet. I can update any of the settings that I see here, like I can add a due date if I wanted to, or adjust the time limit by clicking update settings, and it will give me a version of that screen we were just on. I can also, if students are doing this online, manage my live test session. And if I'm watching students do this in class or like in a Zoom session, I can actually get updates on how they're progressing. I can see which students are in progress and which students have submitted. Uh, if I were in a face-to-face setting, and there were like a fire drill or something like this, I could actually pause the time and then resume when we come back. And then I can also extend time for either my entire class or for individual students who have certain IEP or 504 accommodations. So there's a lot that I can do from this screen as I'm monitoring student progress. I'm going to click out of this. And I want you to be able to look at some student results. So again, this is a fictitious section with fictitious students. And so in real life, your students will actually take the assessment and or complete the assessment and hit submit. I'm going to actually generate fictitious data for my fictitious students. And I'm going to say, let's say 13 of my students actually completed this homework assignment. Um, and again, in real life, you're not going to be looking for this button. You're going to be waiting for your students to complete their assessment, and that screen will update as your students submit their answers. So what we're going to see here as this loads is that 13 of my students will have completed the homework assignment, and 2 will have not. I'm going to be able to see that in the bar at the very, very top. Right here, 13 students and 2. It's automatically been scored because it's multiple choice. You'll be able to see the date and time it's submitted. All of mine are the same because this happened automatically. It was automatically generated. I can actually leave individual feedback for students if I wanted to. I want to give them a word of encouragement, or I want to like hone in on something specific that they should do based on the results. I could do that. And I can see my 2 students at the end that have not started this assessment. So now that I know the majority of my students have completed the assignment, I want to see the results. So I'm going to go over to results, and I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to say, okay, I actually had something else that I'd assigned to them before. You can see that that's here. Anything that I might have assigned to students from the question bank is going to come up in this list. Here is my student performance. I can see 13 of my students have completed, the 2 that have not, and I can see on average, we're not doing so great. So that's the first thing that I noticed, that there is no green here. If I want to know more about what the colors mean, I can click on this bar and I can see that I actually have no students that fell into the top 25% ranges, and that the most that any of my students scored here was 1 out of 3. In fact, the majority of students got no questions right on this assessment of 3 multiple choice questions. And I can see that also here on the right, 0 out of 3. It happens, right? So now as a teacher, I may be somewhat discouraged, but I really want to do a little bit more digging about like, what was the problem here? Like, where did we go wrong? So um, I can look at individual students, which I can click here and get to them, but I want to see this on a class level first and see if I can detect any patterns. So I'm going to click on the actual assignment itself, and I can see here, okay, well, I may just have to go over this entire quiz with students because I can see, I have 1 student that got this question right, 2 that got these last 2 questions right. For whatever reason, they did slightly more poorly on question 1 than on question 2 or question 3. but I can kind of like, let's see what else we can find out about these questions, right? So again, this tells me where the students fall. So I have 8 students in that lowest category, again, from 0 to 25% correct, and then 5 students in that 25 to 49.99% category. This just literally tells me how many students got it right and wrong. And if I click here, it actually, again, will tell me which student got it correct and which students did not. Um, if I click on the question itself, here's where I get a little bit more detail. And so here's the question. I can actually see this, all of my answer choices. I can see the same rationales that I saw before. And again, these are the rationales that the students will see as well. But I get a better sense of like which students actually, or how many students actually chose which distractor. So I can see we have 6 students here. I can actually click and find out which students they are. 3 students here, which students they are. But one thing I do notice is that 0 students picked 19 as the answer, or response E. And, if I read the rationale, this would be maybe what students would have picked if, this particular statement was not executed. Okay, well, now we're getting somewhere, because now I know I at least don't have to go over this with my students. They knew this because nobody picked it. So that's helpful for me to know, that I really only have to kind of focus on the other distractors in terms of why they are not the correct the correct answers. Um, and a couple of other things that I want to point out here is that we do have, related videos. So if I want students to kind of own some of their own learning here, I can point them to Daily Video 1 and Daily Video 2, which focused on Skill 2B, which is, remember, what we were focusing on this homework assignment, and have them watch some of these. If I really decide that the skill is the issue, I can go to the AP question bank and maybe get more questions aligned to the skill that's aligned to different content that will help me figure out, is it the skill that's really the issue? Or I can try to get more questions related to 1.4 and the content in that unit to see if I can figure out it in that topic, to see if it's the content that's really the issue. So I have some tools here that can kind of help me figure out what the next best steps are with my students. I can also get a quick glance of student performance from the student tab. And again, here's that question 1. And I see right away, again, that students knew that E was not the answer. And I kind of see the same thing with question 2, right? We only have 2 students that got this question correct, but I can see again with the incorrect answers, they at least knew that B was not the answer. So I don't have to go over why B is not the answer. In this particular case, I have students who are all over the place, right? D was the correct answer. We have some that picked A, some that picked B, some that picked C, some that picked E. So this is where I may have to spend a little bit more time because I have students all over the map. So I wanted to kind of point that out, is that you can get your information from a grid view here and kind of also match that out of like with students, complete the number of points earned. I can also kind of see maybe how long they took to do the quiz. This a case where a student just kind of went through and was like, DCA, bum, I'm done. Like I didn't understand anything, so I just picked random things. Like I can actually see how long the student took, and maybe I can actually make some decisions about, is this a case of a student who just kind of guessed his way through, or did he actually really take some time, and we still have like some misunderstandings that are happening here. So there's a lot that you can figure out from both the student grid and the individual question screens. Um, so I think I'll leave that here, and I'll end by letting you know that, just like the topic questions are aligned to topic and skill pairings, we're going to see the same types of questions with the alignment to the topic and skill show up on the progress checks, and we'll do another presentation on the progress checks. But hopefully you saw that the AP Daily videos are also aligned to the topic skill pairings as well, and that those are made at the same granular level as the topic question, so that all of these resources are meant to complement and support each other so that you can use them in tandem to help students get the instruction that they need to make sure that they're ready and able to earn college credit. So with that, I will say that I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you will join us for. I hope that you will join us for another presentation soon. We know that the 2020-2021 school year has been particularly challenging for teachers and students alike. So we want to thank you for all you've done to support your students and in support of AP. We hope that you and your loved ones are staying safe, healthy, and well. And thank you again for all you do. Here's wishing you and your students all the best for a successful end to this school year. Thank you.